try single-handed. Alright guys, this may be the most exciting video, at least the most exciting product that we brought to the channel. It's definitely one of the most expensive. Actually, I think it sets a new record because this is actually more expensive than my 10mm Kenai from Les Bear. So yes, it is the most expensive product. I recently inherited some money and my mother passed away, and I think she wanted me to get something instead of just spending the money on bills and doing stuff like that. So I treated myself to my first Cabot pistol. This is a Cabot 1911 in 45 ACP, and it is called the Gran Torino SS. The Gran Torino comes kind of from this marking right here, which some of you will remember what the Gran Torino looks like, and you can kind of picture that on the side of the car, right? So that mark right there. The overall gun is from solid blocks of stainless steel, very high quality, the highest quality probably that pistols are made of. Cabot is known for their precise machines that cut everything to exact specification within, you know, 1/100th of a millimeter or whatever. So what you have here is probably one of the finest examples of a 1911 on the market today. All right guys, the Cabot guns, Gran Torino. This is its maiden voyage, first time out to the range with us. We're gonna put a little bit of this Trident ceramic infused lubricant on there. That's from Shaolin Performance. If you guys are interested in it, just pull it up on the internet, Shaolin Performance, and you can get some of this Trident lube. We've used it on several things and it seems to do an excellent job. This thing is pretty dry, so I'm just gonna put a little bit on it. And then working in a little bit. It is pretty cold out here today. The end of November 2021. Listen to that. Wow. Okay, we're gonna shoot this thing next. And of course, our new sponsor, Remington Ammunition. Thank you very much, Remington Ammo, for the sponsorship. We're gonna shoot 45 ACP, 230 grain, full metal jacket. We're not at our normal range spot. That one is temporarily shut down again. For how many months, I'm not sure, but I don't want to dwell on that. I'll just let you know that we're 12.5 yards back from our front targets instead of the normal 22 to 25 yards. And our targets off to the side are almost 15 yards away. So it is closer shooting. We are shooting on steel. This is about as close as you want to go. Most manufacturers recommend that you don't get within 10 yards. All right, here we go. Cabot Gran Torino. I pulled one. It's been a little while since we've been shooting, so.
All right, guys, young Beretta here. Now that Beretta Senior's talked about some of the, emotional reasons why he bought this gun, let me talk about some of the facts on this gun and, Cabot a little bit. The first and most important fact to mention is that this pistol is 100% made in the USA. 99% of this gun is made in-house by Cabot, okay? It is unreal, the quality levels and what they're putting out here. They're only making 500 guns a year, if not a little bit less, or maybe a little bit more depending on the gun a month club, which they make 21 of every month. And so, 21 very exclusive clientele get to own 12 of those pistols over the span of 1 year. The frame and slide on this pistol are made out of 416 stainless steel billet. So they make these things out of bricks of stainless steel billet material that they have hardened to their specifications, and then they machine it with their super high technology, let's say, honestly, alien technology that they're using over there at that shop.
Yeah, that's right. That's why we keep on running into those spaceships.
That's right. So anyway, Cabot has machined this thing to thousandths of an inch as far as specifications and tolerances. So it's basically a machine to absolute perfection. And then a master gunsmith, and there's only like 6 of them doing this work, will blend everything together as far as your beaver tail and how it's fit back here. And he'll blend the back of your slide to frame fitment and your ejector extractor on that side. It's absolutely beautiful. And then the master gunsmith will also barrel your gun. So they barrel the gun and then they do the slide to frame blending in the back. Absolutely beautiful.
So it's been a couple months since we've shot, and I can tell that already. This thing is very smooth, which is what most all of you are going to expect, right? A pistol in this caliber with this cost would be fantastic. Hold the last one. Let's try single-handed. Wow. To say it's fantastic would be an understatement. Let's go to the side. All right, let's talk about the Cabot itself for a little bit here. The grip itself is not only gorgeous and very, very finely done, but it's also a pretty thin grip. It actually feels a little bit better than most 1911s you may pick up. And it's probably a combination of the grip it uses on the sides here and then how the front is done masterfully, I must add. Absolutely perfect, right? It is what you expect and it is what you get from Cabot. The front and the back.
That's the rhombus style checkering pattern.
Anyway, so the grip is very, very ultra comfortable. So when you're feeling this pistol, it's locked in. It's not harsh on your skin at all, but yet you can feel that it's locked in a little bit from the front. And the side here, as far as the panels are concerned, are made of carbon fiber, and they're a little bit smooth or slick in this particular model. So they come with different ones. Matter of fact, you can get all kinds of different grip panels if you're interested in it. You can buy different ones or have different ones used. They offer all kinds of different custom type grips. They can get costly, up to $1,000 depending on what you're looking at. But if you want your grip, your pistol to stand out even more than just owning a Cabot 1911, you can customize it from there, or actually they will customize it for you and change the grips for you before they're sent out. So that's something else you can do. Cabot has a large array of different types of grips and exotic materials and stuff like that that you can put right here on your 1911s as far as grip panels.
Including Fordite on the Gran Torino model.
Right, which is a very, very interesting material made from years and years and years of a paint shop and
overspray.
And then heat and then paint and then heat and then paint, and sooner or later it turned into this material that they can make grips out of. It's actually very interesting to see, so you guys can look that up on their website. It's quite amazing.
Beretta Senior, what do you think of the undercut on the trigger guard?
Well, I think it's a lot like the ACWs. It's very high. I mean, look at that. And I think that's what allows you to get up nice and high on the pistol and enjoy that really ultra slim grip of these Cabot 1911s. I think it's actually a bit more comfortable than the ones that are a little bit harsher, but this rhombus texturing right here does help bite into your fingers a little bit and prevents it from moving so much side to side. So yeah, look how high you can get up on that. I mean, I almost have room left over down here. Now the right side.
Real quick, you guys, I want to mention something about the rhombus style checkering here. If you look at the rhombus style checkering, you can see the bordering at the top here and on the bottom. Because of how precisely machined these things are, there is no overruns whatsoever on this, on the front strap or on the mainspring housing here. Absolutely beautiful and super grippy. And look at how well machined the mainspring housing is to the frame there. Extreme fitment here on the mainspring housing and how it's fit to the frame. Just look at those tolerances, you guys, and look at how well it is blended and fit. Unbelievable. And here is the beaver tail safety. So when it's activated is when it's actually gonna look best, of course. So when it's not activated, you can see it looks great against the frame here. And then once you activate it, it closes up the gaps down here. And that's how they wanted it to be. And that's how they blend it. Really, really nice, you guys. Unbelievable quality here. Gran Torino stainless steel 1911 with Wilson Combat magazines. Here we go. Very smooth.
So the sides of the pistol right here, guys, are hand polished and very shiny. And then it's got mats in between. You can tell the difference as you look at the pistol. This is a solid metal trigger that they actually have a machine that goes in there and cuts these stars right through the metal trigger itself. I always thought these triggers were probably hollow and metal and done in that way, but no, they have a machine that cuts these little stars all the way through the trigger, as you can see here. I just find that amazing. This is the new trigger, so it's the same design right here, but it's got some serrations up in front. So if you see an older Cabot, you'll notice that its trigger face right here is just kind of an oval shape around, and there's no serrations right here. So that's how you can tell the difference. I think they started this in 2021.
Yeah, they did.
So that's how you can tell which pistols are newer and which pistols are older.
And that's the Cabot TriStar trigger, and on some models they are actually charging additional money now for that trigger, and that's $125 upcharge.
And I'm not saying it's not worth the upcharge, but I sure do like it to come standard, because to me this has always symbolized Cabot firearms.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a relatively new company, guys, but this company has always been known for the highest quality, in my opinion. And that's what I've always heard, that's what I've always assumed, and now you actually have one in hand. When we picked this thing up from our local pawn shop where we have a lot of our brand new guns sent to, nobody at the place has ever seen one in person, including myself. So, you know, shooting guns for 30 or 40 years and never seen one in person. So this is the truth with a lot of people out there. So when you see that that trigger right there, that's always meant a very high quality Cabot firearm.
100% made in the USA and very patriotic. Cabot even has a pistol called the American Joe pistol, which is super patriotic and very American. I'll just say that. Right, British Singer?
Yeah, it's got some red, white, and blue grips on it, and some very nice, I don't know if it's
engraving
into the pistol itself. And so, anyway,
has an eagle on it.
When you look at it, it looks very Americano. So if you guys go to their website, you'll be able to check out that American Joe handgun. I believe now it only comes in commander size. Is that right?
Yeah, which is a full cycle commander designed by Rob Sholin. It is, oh my god.
It is amazing. It is truly amazing. And again, I always thought all the Cabots were at $10,000 and above, and so you can find quite a few Cabots in the $4,000 price range. And I know that's not in everyone's price range, but it's less than I thought it was, and so it may be in some of our viewers' price ranges, and they might have thought they were more than that. So now they can actually look at them and maybe afford to buy maybe one a year.
I think that Cabot's entry level 1911, the national standard, the new 2021 national standard, starts out at $4,295 for the base model. And for that money, you're getting either a commander size or a government size 1911. You have to spend a little bit additional money to be able to upgrade the front side to a gold bead or something like that. But it does come with the TriStar trigger standard, this new style right here,
which I love.
Yeah, and again, you know, just a super high quality 1911. Has the Rob Sholin design rear sight right here, the ledge style. Really nice.
And at those prices, guys, that is the same price as most Nighthawks and Wilson Combat. So you're in that kind of price range. So if you've ever thought you could afford one of those, but you could not afford a Cabot, I present you with the new entry-level Cabots, which are built to the highest quality as all the rest of the pistols.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. It's like you're stepping out of one Ferrari and getting into another Ferrari that just has a few more options on it. In my opinion, that's what's going on here.
Yeah. All right, Wilson Combat 47D in black. Shoot it one-handed here.
And this Cabot, like all Cabots, does have a match grade barrel in it, which is hand fit and polished. The barrel features a flush fit and reverse deep crown muzzle. Absolutely gorgeous.
And look at that Cabot star on the full-length guide rod.
Yep, that's the real deal, guys. Recently we were looking at a used one that had this replaced with something aftermarket, and we think if we pick up a used one, we're going to go ahead and take it back to regular standard features from Cabot themselves. We think the pistol is that good and should be left in stock form. And I realize some people may disagree with that, but that's what we think. This particular Cabot Gran Torino SS was ordered with the accuracy guarantee package, which is better than 1 inch at 25 yards. And the cost on that package that I ordered was $395. So is it worth it? Do you need to get it? You don't need to get it because the pistol itself is very, very accurate, but I wanted it to be a little bit tighter fit, and it kind of is. So that's what I wanted, and that's what I got.
Offhand. First 2 rounds surprised me offhand, not gonna lie. There we go. 4 mags down.
That pistol is very smooth. It kind of reminds me of, you know, a top-of-the-line Wilson Combat or a top-of-the-line Nighthawk. I mean, it's just ultra smooth, and it may be smoother than both of those.
All right, guys, one thing I wanted to cover. Some of you might ask, how does this Cabot 1911 compare to an Alchemy Custom Weaponry pistol or a Les Baer Custom?
That's a fair question.
Yeah. Well, in case you guys didn't know, Alchemy Custom Weaponry is owned by Cabot, and basically what separates the two companies is that Rob Shawlin's crew, and by the way, Rob Shawlin is the GM at Cabot, his crew over there at ACW takes a more traditional route as far as making high-end custom 1911 pistols. They make them more like how Les Baer does as far as hand-fitting, polishing, with granite flat plates as far as the frame and slide, giving it that amazing flat look like this pistol has right here. And they also blend the parts just like Cabot does. So basically, with ACW, you're getting that tender loving care that you're also getting with Cabot, but a more traditional styling as far as a 1911. Like, it doesn't have the scallops right here on the frame. I think you have, in my opinion anyway, a little more options as far as how you want to order your pistol through ACW versus when you're ordering a Cabot 1911, as far as just specifically choosing specific options like ball cuts, putting in different hammers and stuff like that.
And the other thing about comparing them, obviously, you guys, I own 9 Les Baers. The quality, the overall quality is a 10 here, where your Les Baers are more along the lines, if you're comparing it to this now, or more along the lines of like a 7 or a 7.5. And then, you know, you get up to ACW, which is going to be your 9, and then you step up to this and you're at a 10 level. How can you look at this handgun and not say that this thing is not made to absolute perfection?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care how you look at it. It's just wonderful. Absolutely perfect.
And so at ACW, you have the option better than 1 inch, guarantee at 25 yards. Just like on this Cabot right here, all the components that are used at ACW are forged components, so you're not using any cast a la Les Baer Custom. A lot of the parts on Les Baers are cast, as far as your slide release, your safety, your beaver tail safety, your hammer, and your magazine release.
Yeah, I think that's about it. So they're the smaller parts
on the
Baers.
And cap, yeah.
And you don't have that kind of stuff as you go into these next 2 levels.
Yeah.
Which is some of that stepping up that I was just talking about.
Yeah. And then also, quite honestly, with an ACW, you're paying basically Les Baer prices. ACW's entry-level Prime pistol is almost the same price as a Premier 2.
They're very close.
Very, very close. Yeah. The only things you can't order as of right now on the Prime is top serrations or a serrated rear. But again, they want that more traditional styling, which I totally understand, and I'm 100% happy with. I mean, I've got my Prime Elite Hard Chrome, that thing is a 10, and I've got a Quantico on order, as well as a Prime Compact, aka the Brimstone. Beretta Singer just bought a Brimstone online from Gunslingers, so, yeah.
Last week. Yeah, so we are slowly moving in that direction. There's been several people, several of our subscribers that have come to us and said, you know, when are you guys going to finally move away from Les Baer and move into some of the other custom 1911s? And I do think you are slowly going to see that happening. I think our Les Baer collection is fairly sizable. Will I sell those down as I continue to move into different things? I don't know. I'm just not sure.
I don't think you will. I mean, they're really nice pistols.
They are. Especially for the money that we paid for them. I bought 2 or 3 Les Baers used and saved even more money, guys. You can find a Les Baer 1911 out there used for right around $2,000.
If not a little bit less if you get lucky.
So just try to find one that's in pretty good condition. And you have to be a little bit picky as far as that's concerned.
Now, as far as Cabots and Alchemies, trying to pick one of those up on the used market, you guys, it's...
much more difficult.
You can't find these pistols on the used market because these guns are highly sought after and everyone loves them.
Yeah, and then when they buy them, they don't let them go.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of them out there. Yes, there is. If you can find one that's out there that's in terrific condition and you trust who you're buying it from, then go ahead and go for it. If you happen to buy a used Cabot, the company offers a special program for $295.
$250, I think. What do they call it? I got to pull up that email.
It's a pretty neat program where they have you send the gun in and they totally take it apart with their pistol smiths at Cabot. If anything is not right or out of spec or some kind of foreign parts were put in there, then they'll talk to you about replacing them and bringing it back up to Cabot standards. And it is called the Spa Package. Yeah, you're right. It's only $250 right there. So, yeah, so it does seem like an interesting package that they offered. I didn't even know about it until I was talking to one of the owners of Cabot because we were looking at a used Cabot last week.
Which I did pick up, and you guys will see on the channel. I got a really good price on it, and I picked that up. Tactical Creations. You can find their website pretty easily. Just look up Tactical Creations. You can find them also on Gunbroker.
Yep, and that was a really, really great store.
And that's a left-hand Cabot, by the way.
Right, so. And that guy at Tactical Creations, he sells Cabots new.
Yep.
And this was a gun that he sold new in 2018 and then was returned to him as a resale item like a week earlier. So it was resold in 2021.
Yep, so I'm really looking forward to that pistol. But anyway, back to talking about this in comparison to Alchemies and Les Baers. What we could say from handling over 20 Les Baer 1911s, you guys, and the Alchemy and this Cabot here, is that these 3 brands of these pistols really just have soul, in our opinion. They feel like they speak to you and that they are heirloom quality firearms. You know, when I pick up a Nighthawk, honestly, or a Fusion or a Dan Wesson, or even a Wilson Combat sometimes, to be honest, from my experience, they just don't feel like my Alchemy or one of my Bears or even this Cabot. There is something seriously special about these firearms, and I just can't explain it better than that.
No, it's just an interaction you have with particular firearms, and there's nothing that's going to replace that. You can't take one in replace of the other one. Either you feel it and you feel that love and affection for that particular firearm, or you don't.
Yeah. And, you know, we've handled many custom 1911s, you guys. We've handled quite a few Nighthawks at the shop at Keys back when we did a lot of business there. And, I don't know. Like, again, they just don't feel the same.
I own a Nighthawk. I still do. It's a Thunder Ranch Nighthawk, and I still own that pistol. If you guys are interested, look up the video on that. And to me, that gun does talk to me a little bit. I do have a special relationship with that pistol from Nighthawk, but I'm not going to have the opportunity to test or review anymore, and there's personal reasons behind that. I'm just not interested in reviewing any more Nighthawks, so I'm going to stay with the companies that I think treat me fairly and that are respectful to me in nature, just like you guys. You vote with your money, I vote with my money, and I intend to spend my money elsewhere, and I'm not going to say anything else about it, so please don't ask me in the comments. I just prefer not to buy Nighthawks. Yeah,
and so talking about these custom 1911s, again, ACW, Les Baer, and Cabot here, one thing comes down to just handling the gun, but also shooting them. They have a specific feel, especially if you order it with the accuracy guarantee or if it's a hard fit style gun. It just feels like it has less recoil. It feels very smooth versus a 1911 that, you know, just has a drop-in barrel. I'm just kidding with that, of course, but, you know.
Yeah, they do feel better. And I said that way back when I bought my first Les Baer Boss, that there's something about the feeling of some of these tightly fit custom 1911s that's just more enjoyable to
And that's kind of what started it all, because you owned your first Les Baer, and that gun didn't have the same bite, didn't have the same feel as your Les Baer Boss.
Right.
And again, that gun kind of started everything as far as us going down this rabbit hole of buying all these custom 1911. Because honestly, back then, I wasn't a huge 1911 fan. I mean, I liked them and all, but I wasn't like an owner.
No.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, let me find me a Thunder Ranch Gen 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then buying whatever we could find, whatever we wanted, and selling many other guns, guys. I mean, we have sold a lot of guns that we were just so on to help, you know, afford these ventures into custom 1911. So we understand that that's not for everybody, and that it is a bit of a stretch for a lot of people just to be able to get one. And my answer is try to get one, either on the used market, $2,000 or less. If you can find one used, try to find one in good condition and see what you think about it. Spend some time with it and find out whether a custom 1911 is for you or not.
Yeah, and another thing to mention here is we're talking about all this, you know, if you own a Rock Island Armory or even a Springfield Mil-Spec and you haven't had the ability to try out or live with a high-end custom 1911 like a Les Baer Alchemy or this Cabot, you just honestly, you won't understand the difference until you have the ability to live with the gun for a couple months.
And we're talking to shooters here, guys, people that actually shoot their guns. If you're one of those guys that just, you buy 2 or 3 or 4 guns
and you stash
and you just stash them away in the sink, you stash them away in the safe, and that's where they stay, along with your loaded 10 or 15 magazines and your couple of boxes of extra ammo for when the apocalypse comes, then you won't understand what we're talking about. These guns are for people who want to shoot a custom 1911. That's where you're going to get your benefit from. If you just want to put one in a case like this, because it's beautiful enough to go in a case and just, you know, the glass will say break just in case of emergencies, then that's fine too, because this is a beautiful gun to look at. But most people, I think, shoot their custom 1911s.
Yeah, because they're highly functional tools.
Yeah, and they're enjoyable. They're an enjoyable thing too. So it's not just to protect you and your family, but it's also an enjoyable thing to do. You're into the shooting sports. All right, guys, we're going to finish up with this Cabot Guns Gran Torino. But before we do, before the questions come in, this is a weapons education full holster from Tom over there. Completely custom and built the way we wanted them. So we are a retail customer of his, and we do really appreciate the quality. So thank you, Tom. And if you're interested in a high-class holster, give him a look over there. He builds some really great stuff, and we're very happy to have it. Mine was a gift, so you know, that's the way it is. A stainless steel bead right here, and it does glow in the sunlight. So
that's one of the changes they made on the 2021 Gran Torino Cabot 1911.
All right, we're gonna finish it up right here. I gotta say, I'm very pleased with it, and I know what you guys are gonna say. You better be pleased with it for the price, and you're right, it's outstanding. A couple more rounds here. Fantastic. First one went under that target. One last magazine. So the first 100 rounds or so, flawless, not one hiccup. That's always good to see, right? Let's try it offhand, which is left-handed for me. Always feels a little more awkward, but it's good to practice it. Cabot Guns Gran Torino, guys. Absolutely fantastic looking. I could not be more happy with the way it performed. It will be a long-term keeper for me, and you may see this thing going up against things like Wilson Combat or maybe an Alchemy Custom, Les Baer, things like that in the future. Okay, so rant aside, sorry about that shop talk. We don't do that too often, and I don't know how much of it we'll include in this video. Let's move back to the Cabot 1911, this beautiful Gran Torino SS that we have here. So we already talked about, I think, the full-length guy rod right here from Cabot. You can see that it's marked with a star. Again, that is a symbol of Cabot Guns, and a beautiful symbol at that. So you've got a full-length one here.
And it's a one-piece billet, right?
Yeah. Very high quality. Let's go to the ambi safety. So here we go. Pretty good, pretty easy on both sides. There's no metal piece underneath the grip panel here like there is on Les Baers. Works well both ways.
I love the cutout in the grip to fit the safeties. That is just attention to detail, dude.
Oh, you mean right here?
Yeah. It's beautiful.
So when you put it down, it fits right into that opening right there. And same thing over here. Right here, it's cut out right here. And it kind of fills that area right there. Yep. Yeah, it's pretty gorgeous, dude.
Beretta Senior, how is the trigger on this 1911? Because obviously, you know, you pay $5,000 for a 1911. How is the trigger?
Right, and this one is very, very good, which is what I expected. So it's very comfortable in the hand, much more comfortable than many of my less bare 1911s for sure, that do a lot of biting into your skin. This one fits nicely and it's very comfortable. As far as the trigger, so you got this for uptake right here. And then you're at the wall. And sometimes you get a little bit of movement after that. But with these, you put pressure on, and it just snaps. There's no over travel or anything. It just snaps exactly correctly. So, okay. Reset. Back to it. You see you're right there. There's no movement. As I put more pressure on it here, snap.
And that reset is audible and tactile. You can feel the reset.
It's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
See how it just pushes it right there? You catch it and you move it just a couple of millimeters there. And as soon as it starts firming up, there's nothing else. It's just keep putting pressure on it until the glass breaks.
And how does it fit into the frame? Because again, we're talking about super high tolerances on this pistol. And
one thing I've noticed is the spring tension, the spring pressure on the hammer, it takes a little more effort to get the hammer back. So that thing's got some power behind it.
Well, that's because it's a high quality pistol, you know what I mean? They're not sacrificing reliability to make the hammer or the trigger better.
So as you push it back here, and the safety's engaged here, as you push it back, I mean, you can tell there's just a couple millimeters worth of wiggle to it. Up and down, and then side to side, maybe a millimeter. I mean, it's so small. It's very well fit.
Is it anything that would be, you know, distinguishable when we're shooting it?
You won't even notice it.
Yeah.
Because it's so small. And the biggest thing you're going to notice is as you come back and you hit that firmness of the trigger, that as soon as you start putting more pressure on it, it just snaps. So it's a very, very fine trigger here with this Cabot.
And what do you think of the rear sight on this pistol, designed by Rob Sholin? It's very similar to the sight on my Alchemy hard chrome.
This one particularly, on the Alchemies, they're also marked, and this one right here is marked for Cabot. So it's marked up there. It's a very nice ledge. It would be great for ramming it against something or taking it off something to chamber the next round, or to chamber the first round out of a new magazine, whatever you want to do. It's made strong, and I think it would do it.
So it's got a U-sight picture, and it's fully serrated, right?
Yes.
And the rear sight leads to your stainless steel bead front sight.
Which, guys, I didn't know how much light this thing would gather, but as you can tell, just right here, that thing is just stainless steel. It's a very high gloss piece of stainless steel right there. There's nothing powering it behind it or anything. It's just very nice as far as picking up light.
And how does that fit into the side there, that front side again?
Comes in the front, guys. See that?
Wow.
So it comes right in the front, and all of the Cabots, I believe, are that way. Are all the ACWs that way too?
No, they're traditional as far as the dovetail.
So
is the bushing holding that in, basically?
I think so.
That's
Do you
insane.
see that? So the bushing is locked into place, and I think the bushing acts as like a safety device to make sure that that thing does not come loose or go anywhere, probably under heavy fire or whatever. So yeah, it keeps it right there.
And all Cabots are this way with the front sight. And by the way, that stainless steel bead in the front is a standard feature on the 2021 Gran Torino 1911. Again, Wilson Combat ETM magazine. Some of the best 1911 magazines out there. Failure to feed. About to go in though. They're smacking the back of it. Shooting offhand is something I have never practiced really overall, so it's a little weird for me. And last mag. Really a smooth shooter. Absolutely love it, you guys. I can't wait to shoot my Cabot. Haven't brought it out yet. We just have been really busy with other stuff. Here we go. Absolutely beautiful 1911, made by Cabot. Love those carbon fiber grips.
All right, guys, let's go over the exact price so you guys know what happened with this particular pistol. The Gran Torino SS base price is $4,695. That's the base price. This particular Gran Torino, go to page 2 here, has the ambi safety for $175 and the accuracy guarantee, which is better than 1 inch at 25 yards. So basically what they're saying, it's going to be round over top of round over top of round at 25 yards, and that's the accuracy guarantee, and it is $395. I think I covered that earlier. So the grand total on this particular pistol was $5,265.
And with the accuracy guarantee at Cabot and Alchemy Custom Weaponry, they actually test these handguns, if you order it that way, at actual distance in ransom rests, and you get a target showing so.
Now, if you just wanted to get into the national standard right here, which is their new entry-level pistol for 2021, so this is not something that everybody else is going to have. This is a brand new gun for them. They redid it. It looks wonderful, and it starts at $4,295. You throw a couple of options on it, you're out the door for around $4,500, which again is about the price of most Wilson Combats and Nighthawks.
And they make this pistol again in standard style or left hand, and basically why they came out with that is they retired the S100 and the S103 Commander.
So this is probably all more information than most of you will need, but a lot of people show off their upper end guns. They don't really explain them. They don't say how they buy them. They don't say how much they are, and you just assume that a lot of people are, paying anywhere from $6,000 to $8,000 to $10,000 per gun, and that's not exactly true. So I think it's always best to get the truth out there and to squash all bad rumors that may be out there. These guys also excellent customer service. If you have a problem, they pay to fix your gun, they pay to have it sent there, they cover it. It's great customer service. You guys know what happened or what I feel about Les Bear customer service and how they do stuff like that. If you don't, see my video. I'm not going to go into it now, but this is excellent, and so is Alchemy Custom Weaponry.
Yeah, same company basically, you guys, and same great customer service both ways.
So rest assured, if you buy that, you'll be well taken care of by the company. That's the kind of people they are. We have talked to them several times, not just once or twice. We've talked to them several times, and they pretty much treat us like gold, and that's the way I think a customer should be who purchases some type of a pistol like this. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel here on YouTube, Beretta 9mm USA, for more guns and gear videos coming up in the future. Remember, everyone at Patreon will see these videos first, so if you want to join us over there, lots of new videos pop up over there first before they make it to YouTube. We'll see you guys on the next video. And remember, your Second Amendment is worth protecting.